Hi everyone, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit and pull it up right there. Okay, looks really good. So I'm here with a friend of mine, Sylvia, and she's been asking me some questions, and I just thought it'd be really fun to put it on camera for you. One of the things that we were talking about earlier today is that there has been a lot of psychics reaching out for other psychics, wanting to get readings and trying to get personal with other things and trying to get their own understanding of what's happening not only in their world but really on the planet. So we were talking about that, and I was saying it's very interesting for psychics to reach out because I would say as a species of people, we really don't talk to other people, other psychics all that often. There are ones that are in communities. I happen to be one that really doesn't have a community. My community is just the human race. I'd kind of just talk to normal people all the time. But there are ones that have different communities or different associations. But Sylvia and I were talking. So what was our last subject, Sylvia?
Why do people want to reach out at certain dates? Like, are dates important to people who have passed on? Are they more important to us, the living that are here?
Okay, so the way I would answer that is that when someone passes, that date is always important to the human being, not to the spirit at all. So when someone passes, like I'm in Kima this weekend doing a reading for a family, and their grandmother passed away on March 13th, and so that happened to be the day that they really wanted to do this reading, which is kind of interesting because it's in the middle of the week. But it's one of those, it's not necessarily important to the other side, but because we're wanting them to be near us, we want that message from them. We want to hear from them on their birthday, on our birthday, that know that we're still loved. It's one of those, they're reaching out to us, but it's not necessarily a date important to them. It's a date important to us. Any other questions?
When people pass on, when a person passes on, do do they reach out to people before they pass on? Like if they know they're dying or if they've died, before they go over the bridge, do they reach out to people that are here just for that last goodbye?
I would say usually that happens, especially when someone's in a coma, that someone's kind of in a coma. You're really between two worlds. You really have one foot in one world and one foot in the other world. So you really are on top of the bridge, one on one side and one on the other. You're really not in either world 100%. And they will reach out in dreams, in visions, trying to communicate with their family, like, I still love you, I still care for you. But a lot of times that's usually kind of their indication that they're not going to make it back, that they're going to go ahead and cross the bridge completely and go ahead and pass. So I would say a lot of times they're reaching out to let you know, like, it's okay, I'm going. And usually sometimes it's a traumatic event. I've had several clients that have had family members that were in a car accident, that were in a coma for a period of time, and they'll have dreams about this person, they'll have visions about this person, of them going on with their life. And it's like, okay, that's their thing, is they're telling us, let me go, let me live, let me keep going, I'm okay.
Do you think being around nature, things that are less built on by man, that there is more chance to speak to loved ones than there are when we're in like industrial city kind of things?
I think it makes it easier because the only way you can communicate with the other side is kind of going into a very meditative state. And so for me, when I go into a meditative state, like, I don't get hungry, I really don't get thirsty, my throat gets dry, but there isn't really a whole bunch of other metabolic activity going on. I'm in like a high meditation at that time. So it's one of those, when you can do that easier, it's usually when you're out without all the distractions, without the TV and the cell phones and the computers on and the Game Boys and all that kind of stuff. Like, when you kind of set that aside and you walk around in nature, you're kind of going into a meditative state. Like if you go on a hike, you're in a meditative state while you're doing that, and so it makes it easier to hear those loved ones, to hear those messages. And just even meditating on your own, I tell most of my clients that you should be meditating on average 3 to 5 minutes, and it doesn't matter how you meditate. It's that you're meditating and that you're taking the time to relax. The more you do that, the more messages you're going to get from your angels and guides, and it's going to give you more information.
Do you feel like we're related to everybody? Like there really are no relatives in the space and time that we as a human race are really all related to one another?
We really are. I mean, I know genealogy wise, there's a lot of controversy with like the different DNA companies saying that they're related to different types of people when they're really not. But I would say, really, genetically, we're related to everybody in not just on this planet somehow. And they might be our 144th cousin all the way out, kind of crazy stuff. But it's one of those, they're also related to other people on other planets. We're related to everybody. We have a little bit in us, but it can also relate to our past lives. Past lives really come in heavy when you're talking about being related to people, and that's when you can go, wow, I'm related to people, or I've had other past lives with my husband or my children or my in-laws, and it's one of those, we really are truly connected through our past lives to everybody everywhere.
And if we have past lives and we keep coming back, so our soul is just like one thing, but it can live a lot of lives. Like the skin of it changes, but the soul of it remains just us.
Right. So I always call it, this is kind of like my meat suit. This is the meat suit that I chose to put on for this life. Okay. I'm 5'1" and I weigh this amount of weight and everything else, but this is the meat suit that I have on for this lifetime. My last lifetime I was 6'2", and the time before that I was 5'10". So it's one of those, and you can be different colors and different shapes and different dimensions. You can be any race of person. There is no like, oh my gosh, I always come back as a white person, or I always come back as a Hispanic or a Latino or anything like that, African American. You can come back as anything you choose to put on there, and it's just what changed. The meat suit that you're putting on the outside, your soul never 100% changes. It's who you are, and it takes you through every lifetime, through every pain, every issue, every problem, and you learn in such an amazing way because your soul already has the information. All you have to do is reconnect to your soul to get that information.
So in Buddhism, they teach you that like your prospective lives, every life you come back as, you're learning something, you're getting through something from, you know, and like where you might come back as a beetle because you were a very bad person, so they take you to the lowliest form, right? Do you believe that that's necessarily a true thing, or?
What I've come to understand is that when we reincarnate, we always reincarnate as a human being because we're more likely to learn lessons. But there are lifetimes where if we had a lot the last lifetime, we might take this lifetime off, where we might come in as a child and pass really, really young, and that kind of makes it a little bit easier, that it's kind of like a lifetime off. And then there are times, there are certain people that will have a past life, they'll live that life and pass it like 60 or 70 years of age, and then they'll take 100 years off. There is no like, oh my gosh.
Are there life forms that they don't let come back? Serial killers, you know, those kind of people.
Right. Okay, so when you're talking about serial killers or people that are just literally genetically bad, you know, like a Jeffrey Dahmer, you know what I'm saying, you know, a Manson or whatever else, when you're talking about people that were literally really, really bad, those people never get out of life review, and they stay in that state. So they basically stay away from all of their family members, all their friends, or any of those people, and they never get to come back. It's like, you know what I'm saying, like you've already done your strikes and you're out of here, you're not going to come back. And so they kind of stay in that lowlier form of, okay, when I should have forgiven someone and moved forward, I ended up killing somebody. It's one of those people don't move forward. They don't progress forward. But if you make mistakes, and that's kind of what we do on Earth, is our job is to make mistakes. If you never make a mistake, you never learn how to fix that mistake. So when you learn how to fix a mistake, it makes you better. Does that make sense?
Does a spirit shatter?
It's one of those, Jeffrey Dahmer, a Manson, something like that. Their spirits would shatter, and they will never heal through what they've put other people through. And that's what they kind of end up living their life through, is what they did to other people and feeling it from the other person's perspective. And that's kind of what we go through when we pass away in this life. So if you kick someone when you were in kindergarten and you kick their shin pretty hard and you really hurt them, you're going to live through their part of it and what they saw and how they felt about it. And so if it's something minor like that, you're not going to have any repercussions from that. It's not going to be like, oh my gosh, karma's coming to come bite me in the shin. It's one of those, you're going to learn like, wow, I need to respect other people. And that's usually what we learn. That's the issues that we learn as a person. But most people come through and they have several major life lessons, but they will also have several minor life lessons to learn each lifetime. And then we also have the choice: am I going to learn this lesson, or am I going to keep going back through it? And that's when you have people that keep going through that same life lesson, like they marry the same person or they date the same type of person over and over and over again, and you're going, wow, you know, this one looks different on the outside, their meat suit is different from the last one, but their spirit is just the same as the person they dated last time. And it's because they're refusing to learn that life lesson to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much. We so enjoyed coming to you this evening, and I will be posting this video pretty soon, so y'all have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.